Gaffer, where do you start? Where do you start to analyse what happened there?
You know, I thought it was quite menacing, you know, up until they scored. I thought some of the crosses going in, better delivery, more positive on our forward play, and at times looked menacing. You know, we put some dangerous balls into the box. Danny Mayer, Nicky Adams putting good quality in, and then we got our just reward. You know, the 2 goals, fantastic goals, great delivery, and you know, good play. But we've got to see the game out at 2-0 up, and you know, you got to get through your next 10 minutes. You've got to get to 10 minutes. We spoke to them about it this week. Spoke to the players that getting through that next phase is really important to take away their hope. But the goal gives them real hope. You know, at 2-1, then it becomes uncomfy, which it shouldn't have done or didn't need to be. So again, you know, disappointed with both goals conceded. They're not great goals. It's a free header, the first one in the box, and it's something that, you know, it's a trend that's happening, and you know, we've got to stop it, because at 2-0 up, you've won the game, 3 points, and it's a comfy afternoon, and that's what we should have had here today.
Is self-belief becoming a bit of a problem?
There's no problem with self-belief. You know, you've seen the 2 goals that we've scored there. It's an element. The first one, you know, Jonah squares himself up, heads the ball away, no problem. But you know, to give Hyde that time in the box, it shouldn't happen on a football pitch. You know, the second one, it's floated over the wall, and again, you know, with better decision making, then you know, we make the save, or should have made the save. So it's 2-0 up. You've got to see the game out. We've got to, you know, it's 4 or 5 minutes after they've scored. It gives them hope. You know, we've got to take that away from teams. 2-0 up at home. You know, you shouldn't be drawing the game out.
That delivery for the second goal, that delivery from Chris Hussey, that's the crossing we know from Chris Hussey. So
he's got fantastic delivery, us, and you know, Pabs has come off with a slight injury at half time, and we put us on and just changed the shape and the dynamic. But you know, first half I was quite pleased with how the game panned out, but certainly second half, you know, there was a real verve to what we did, and an energy to what we did, and you know, like I said, 65 minutes in, there was a lot of quality on show, and we carved them open, you know, time after time, and got our rewards. 2 goals is a fantastic reward at home, you know, and that's pleased me, because we've not been as menacing or look like scoring, certainly at home and away. So you know, we have improved that side of it, but our Achilles heel over the last month has come to haunt us back again today.
Pitch looked heavy. Did that slow the lads down?
Not really. You know, the pitch is the pitch. It's not settled. It's all over the show. The pitch is the pitch. You know, it's the same for both teams. We've done all right at times on there today. You know, it was back to something that, you know, resembles what we're about, and that come certainly down at Luton performance-wise, and then it's been evident today. But you know, we've I think not from a technical aspect, but certainly from an emotional aspect, we've gifted them, you know, 2 points today.
He sort of get a bit fed up, Flickers. You know, you mentioned about this, seeing games out before and the killer instinct, and you almost fed up telling the lads this.
You got to keep working on it, Keith. You know, we believe there's no problem with self-belief. You saw the goals, you saw the reaction, you saw this players are absolutely totally committed to the plan, to the football club, and to what we're trying to do. You know, sort of his performance, you know, didn't deserve to be on a losing team. He drove the team at times, and you know, he really. And I thought Louis and Niles were good up front. I thought technically in the work, they was excellent. They held the ball up miles better today. So there were some real positive signs. And it is an individual thing, it's a character thing. You have got to, you know, at that stage, really just dig in at that final moment. And if there's any space on a football pitch, people have got an opportunity to score a goal, and there was too much space for the first goal. For them, you know, it's a free header in the box, which is something, you know, we don't really get. So that's we'll keep drumming it home and keep working with a group that is. But certainly, you know, to win games and see games out, we need to get better at it.
And it's difficult. You have changed the personnel, haven't you? It's almost if it's someone's not listening or something. I don't know what it is. Is it focus? What, I don't know.
What I do know is that the group we've got, you know, I certainly won't give up on them. They won't give up on me, and we're just in a time that, you know, the lads will get it right. They're desperate to get it right. That's what I do know. There's some good characters in that dressing room. They're desperate to get it right for the football club. So, with that, you've always got a chance, and you've always got a positive future. And certainly, looking at the goal celebrations, there's a unity in there. There's a unified, response, and that's what I was looking for today at home. But I want to give our fans that bragging rights of winning today and giving them 3 points, just to kick starts and jump starts. But a point gives us it stops the rot, it stops the losing streak. So that's something we build off. And I can't do anything about the goals tonight, but certainly Monday, we can start work on the next performance. I
mean, with the second goal there, does Kelvin need to make the tackle? Was in his position where he had to make it.
They've got the boy in the slot, the number 10. They've got him in the slot, and he, I don't think he doesn't, because Cam's just walking onto it. Again, it's one of them that don't get involved with it. Let Cam deal with it. Who's coming onto it, and we we're making slightly bad decisions that don't see a game out. It's a tense moment because they're 2-1, and then suddenly we hand the ball back to them on a free kick, and it's 2-2. So, but they never stopped fighting. They kept going to the end. We had a couple more chances at the end, and while them players, are driving forward and attempting to win football matches and trying everything in the power to win football matches, then I'll remain positive with that group, because there's, like you said, there's quality in it, but there's a desire in it as well. Sometimes
that tackle could be that actual desire, can't it? Sometimes, it's that desire to try and do something, and you almost create your own trouble, if that makes sense. And is that an acceptable mistake to make? Or do you need to be more professional?
Keith, this group care, mate.
That's what I'm getting at, really.
Can you overcare? I don't think you can. I just think in that moment, Cam can take charge and just stay out of it. Sometimes people get involved in trouble that they don't need to.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And possibly, but that's more decision making. There's different things we talk about, decision makings, but certainly emotionally, the team's hurting. They're hurting in that dressing room. They've had a meeting now, and they're talking together about how we put it right, and we'll get it right.
Did it go on goal side as well? Someone was telling me after, just the free kick went in to one side.
Yeah, what we've got is, when it looks like a direct shot, we've got a big wall. We've got 5 of the biggest players, because obviously it's a definite shot on goal. So, you let your wall do that job, and if it goes over the wall, but it's gone in goalkeeper's side. So, we'll look at that and make sure that, we get that right. But it's planning on the training ground that we do. Or it's no good doing it on a training ground. Your points, and you judge by what you do on the pitch, and we've conceded another 2 bad goals.
From your own point of view, have you sort of tried to? You've obviously changed the side on a regular basis. Have you tried to change the routine? Is that you want to keep it the same all the time in training, do different things?
Never changed it. We've stayed positive. We've tried to flush out the poor results, and deal with them on a Monday, so we can move forward with Tuesday's work or Saturday's work. So, we always, as a group, we always hit the problems. We always try and find the solutions, and we work together as a squad, as a staff. We really work hard on trying to limit mistakes. We're doing our unit work. We're doing all the work that we can, but it's that 95 minutes that you've got to be fully focused for and fully concentrated on, and we've just not been.
Yeah. On the team, by the way, Milson not involved today, and O'Brien. Did I see him limping up there before?
I thought it was fantastic, on his debut against Luton. He done really well, and Pablo in the morning come out. Keir went in, and he, it's a find. It's a great find, because it's took us 6 months to get him up to this speed. But he got a tackle about the 35 minutes, and it was a meaty one, quite crunchy, right underneath us. And we feared the worst. We really did. We feared the worst, but luckily it could be about 3 weeks. He's just tweaked his medial, so it'd probably be about 3 weeks. Whereas we was expecting, honestly, you're going to see it ballooned. So,
Was it the same Was it the same knee? That
The same knee, but it's not a problem or a reoccurrence of that. It was one hell of a tackle, to be fair. One hell of a tackle. So we've missed him. Rob Milson's tore his thigh. He tore his thigh. He went for a scan and he's tore his thigh, so he's out for 4 weeks.
So he's gone back.
Yeah, he's been getting some treatment here, had his scans, and then he's gone back. So you know, it's just one of them things. But I'm disappointed with a Keir one, because he looked. The reason why we brought him here is to develop him and get him in the first team and on his first opportunity. He looked composed, he looked calm, and there's some untapped potential in that boy. So, you know, a little bit gutted that he's not been able to get a rhythm today and play again today. He'd probably started today. So we'll get him back, but luckily we're not talking about something that's long term here.
I was in himself, because it's a great occasion for anyone, I think, to make the professional debut, and then, you know. Do
you know what? Right, he's quite positive, because we thought it was maybe a 6-monther.
Well, yes, so good way of looking at it.
He's actually come out the other side, sign of relief. So I'm delighted for Keil. He's, you know, it means that come January we don't have to be looking for centre halves. You know, we've got one in the building who's ready to come in.
Do you know what I should have asked you for ages? Just reminded me now. You know, last year when you talked about you're looking at someone at non-league, was it Keil O'Brien?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wondered. I just thought that now. And one other thing which I thought was really interesting, you said on Tuesday, you talked about changing from minimising risk to maximising risk. What were you thinking there?
Well, I think against Oxford we looked at all our stats and possession stats, and you know. This team's been set up to play through teams, play through units, get on the ball, get brave. I think against Oxford, because we want to grind the result out, then you know you put the ball in their half more than you do your half. Well, we're a team that has to play through our half, has to play through units, have to utilise your Nicky Adams, your Danny Mayer playing through. We've got carries up the pitch, so you know we designed the team a certain way, and then I think because of disappointing results, you know you start to only want to play in the opposition's half. So you know it's really important that we stick to what we're good at, stick to our principles, and some of the phases today was back to what we do. We've been working all week on having more development about our play, taking more risks in the final third, and instead of trying to find a perfect goal, trying to cause an upset in their half. And first half we've got plenty of crosses in, plenty of final third, good crosses and good passes in the box. So we know what we need to do, and as a group we know what we need to do. But certainly we've got to stop bad goals being conceded against us.
Yeah, they say they don't. It's the expression you can't win until you're not afraid to lose, and they don't look afraid in that respect, do they?
They're not, Keith. Honestly, there's no lack of belief. We've got to stick to performance. We've got to stick to what they're good at, that group, and what they're good at is creating a lot of chances and playing with an attacking verve. And I think at times, certainly against Oxford, it didn't resemble anything that I'm about and that I've tried to bring to a club. At times today, I certainly saw that, and I did against Luton. But we need to get them these wins, that because if not, it's just talk.
Yeah, exactly. Mind you, Tutty does the same last week as he just did today. You could be talking on, don't you? Can't you?
It's fine margins, mate. It is. Listen, it is, but
ridiculously fine margins.
We're 2-0 up, mate, today.
Yeah,
I've got to now this weekend spend 24 hours understanding how we've not got 3 points for these fans. That's something that you carry as a manager, and I need to sit down and look at that and find a way of getting them players to understand that it's a matter of, you say fine margins, but it's a matter of going up against people and really making yourself known, really making yourself that I'm here, you're not getting no space, you're not getting in my zone, I've got to deal with it, and we've not dealt with it. The cross has come in from us side, we've not dealt with that cross, and I'm gutted with it, so we'll get it right.
Does it sorry,
I was going to say, I mean, we're talking about being gutted because you've basically, it feels like a defeat, but in reality you were a point closer to the playoffs than you were at the start of the day.
It's quiet.
I mean, the results have gone your way elsewhere, but I mean, it's still.
Yeah,
you talk about respecting the point. I mean, it's not quite the same thing, is it? But you still got that point, and you've got to build on something.
I think if we're away from home, I can sort of see that, but we're at home, and you know, the 2 goals will overshadow the good play. 65 minutes, we deserved. The good play was evident. You know, the phases was evident. As a manager, when we're dealing with performance, you're dealing with a group of players that you're working with day in day out. On a Saturday, it should resemble what you've worked with in the week, and it did do. But what I talk to this group about all the time is getting in people's zone. You know, you don't have to be over physical to get in someone's zone and make sure that they have it hard. And the goals we're conceding, teams aren't having to do that, and that disappoints me, because as a player, that's one thing that, you know, I hung my hat on, that if I weren't having a good time, the player I'm playing against weren't, and that's something that, you know, people mistake me for. I love that side. That is the art for me, the art of making sure someone doesn't do their job. If it's just not going your way, it's something that I drill into this squad all the time. And I think we've achieved that with certain players like Nicky Adams and Danny Murray. You know, they're aggressive in the press, and you know, when I first come to the club, they weren't. They were just sort of mavericks in a way, and they've added that to the game. But it's got to be for 95 minutes, and this is what I keep telling this group: 95 minutes. The modern game, 95, 97 minutes that you've got to, you know, see out the opposition.
I mean, this is going to sound like a party people thing to say, but you could see the energy in the players all the way through the game, from the start to the moment they went 2-0 up. But strange thing, you talk about red zones, you know, times after you've after the half time or whatever the other day. But after you've had such a wild celebration, the adrenaline almost goes out of you, doesn't it? Is there a danger that energy just dissipated a little bit because they were so excited when they were celebrating? Because I mean, it was some wild celebrations on the side, especially for Tutsko. Is it something you need to focus on after you've scored to make sure that doesn't happen?
They've all got individual resets. You know, we've worked on them hard. They've all got individual resets. You know, so I see what you're saying. That adrenaline high and that adrenaline pump up.
It kind of just is almost go the other way.
I think if they score a minute in, 30 seconds in, I sort of take. I know where you're coming from, but I think we'd recovered our shape. We'd got set in decent lines. The pitch was okay. You know, we've not stopped the cross, and we've not dealt with a cross that's come in. So they took the 2 mistakes that are, you know, that's happened. That I'm not too sure that you can do anything about. I mean, red zones. It's like a
5 minutes later. It's not really a red zone, is it?
No, I get what you're saying.
With regards to staying positive and keeping positive, I mean, creating positive pictures in your mind. Northampton was quite a positive place to visit last year. That's where you're going next. Is there something that you can use to maybe sort of get people thinking about that day last year?
I think you can, but again, you know, I'll get positivity from the group. You know, when we jump into work Monday, I'll make sure that group are stimulated, motivated, and ready to work. You know, on a plan for Northampton. You know, again, there'll be no overkill from this game. We get that sorted out really early Monday. We show what we're good at. We show where we can get better, and then we move on. So that's what we've got planned for Monday, which will help us plan for the Northampton game. But you know, I know we'll come good. We work too hard not to come good, and it'll certainly come good.
Okay, just the Pabs thing you mentioned about his injury that came up half time. Is it the same injury that he's been sort of carrying in the last few weeks?
He's had some injections late on this week, and we thought it had really settled down. But it's one of them with Pabs. If he overstretches, it just causes a flare up in his groin and stomach area. So you know, we might have to now maybe leave him out a touch longer for him to really get right. That's something we can look at tomorrow and see where that's going.
Okay. By the sounds of Pabs from previous times talking to him, he's not a good patient, is he? He wants to get out there.
Yeah, we thought the injections had settled it down. We shut him down for a couple of days, got him his injections, went down to Leicester, got his injections, and we thought he was pain free. But again, you know, once you've overstretched that site, that pain comes back. And he's honest. You know, he said just before half time, about 40 minutes in, you know, gaffer, I'm struggling here, but I'll get to half time, clean sheet, and then, you know, but start thinking about making changes. So Pabs was honest today. He wanted, like all of us, he wanted the 3 points.
Okay, right, thanks a lot.
Can I just ask one thing? I was curious. I mean, everyone forgets you're still a young fella and it's still a young manager in experience terms, aren't you? And you know, the other lads, Brassy and Futch, are similar. Did you actually speak to anybody else who's sort of been there, done that? You know, especially particularly in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I've got some really top mentors. You know what I mean. Speak to Willie a lot, Sam Allardyce and Sir Alex Ferguson.
Are they ever made good at stuff like that? You know, we can just ring them up and say, look, I don't know, I'm right at the top of my head. This subject, I don't know, Wilkinson or somebody like that who's still there. If they're down there, I don't know.
I've met a lot of friends in football, as you know, and I've got a lot of people. I try and do things the right way, professional. Try and carry myself in the right manner. And people know, I want to make myself better at being a manager. So people out there are trying to help you in the football world. Sir Alex Ferguson is the best one at it. The amount of young managers that phone him, and he enjoys that. He enjoys helping young managers. Absolutely.
That's excellent.
Big Sam, someone who, when I look back on what Sam did at Bolton, ridiculous, outstanding. What Sam's done, how he built the team and built the structure and built the football club and got into European. I'm friends with Sam, so Sam's always someone who sets me back right. But there's quite a few managers. Going over to see Malcolm Mackay in a couple of weeks. I've set that date up. I'm still learning, still getting better, still wanting to better what I do, and I won't stop searching for them answers.
Yeah,